We've got audio. Let's get some music. Hey everyone, Eric Watson here, freelance writer, player of games, writer of words, recorder of videos, and tabletop role-playing aficionado. Welcome to our weekly live-streamed Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition online role-playing adventures. I am joined, as always, by my good friends Chris, playing the noir detective, human, inquisitive, rogue, wizard Mannix.
Hello.
I'm excited to possibly update that.
Maybe.
Maybe. I need to switch our... There we go. Heather playing the Dark Death Dealer, Half-Drow, Assassin Rogue Kaless.
Hello.
Rochelle playing the Deep Water Diva, Triton Bard of Whispers, Gillian, has just arrived. Excellent. God, you sound terrible. Are you okay? Jesus. Raymond playing the Heedlessly Brave, Turtle Battle Master Fighter Rogue, George.
Hello.
And Reese playing the metal-laced, mighty Morphin Hill Dwarf Druid of the Moon, Theron.
Hello.
Stream our sessions live on YouTube every Friday evening. You can watch all our D&D live series as well as reviews and Let's Plays on my YouTube page. Read weekly session... Shit, see, I changed it up and I can't do it now. Read weekly session recaps at roguewatson.com and watch my behind-the-scenes No Players Allowed live series Crafting Annihilation on Thursday mornings. You can follow me on Twitter at RogueWatson and join our official Discord discussion group with the invite link in the description below. If you'd like to support the channel, please check out patreon.com/RogueWatson. Shoutouts to Platinum patrons Andrew, Richard, Joe, Will, Tiny Dancer, Nick, Andy, Grayson, and Chris. And gold patrons RPG Papercrafts, Charming Grenade, Pretty Boy and Yuma, Mark Gilstade, Vicente, Gilberto, Sean, A.K., Cert2B, Adam, Dead Lizard, Lounge, Sam, Rosh, and Limpus Buds. Thank you all very much for your support. For our campaign, we use Roll20.net. For video chat, we use Discord. For streaming, I use Open Broadcaster software with Streamlabs. Fun fact.
I think I forgot to unmute myself. Hello.
Oh.
Hello.
Two demerits. Fun fact, since this is session 6-6, we have officially...
We're all going to hell.
That's right.
The number of the beast.
We have officially gone longer than our entire previous campaign. Storm King's Thunder was 65 sessions in total.
Wow.
We are at 66.
Sounds about right.
We're behind the level curve here.
And we are behind the level curve. We are not even in the titular Tomb of Annihilation yet.
Right.
I'm still not
You're
sure.
assuming we're going to make it to that tomb.
Right.
That's right.
I'm still not sure even how many more sessions we have left. That's been one of the most challenging things to determine, but make that journey together. That's my inspirational message for everyone. Previously
that was surprisingly heartwarming.
Thank you. Right? it's the memories that we make along the way. Previously on Tomb of Annihilation, the disguised, invisible, and shapeshifted party was summoned to the High Priestess's chambers in the Yuan-ti temple. Fenthaza was half snake and a powerful figure within the community, answering only to Raz Nisi himself. She congratulated the PCs on their partial capture of the meddlesome adventurers and revealed that she could use their help in overthrowing Raz Nisi. The rumors of his illness were true, and a weakened, sick leader was a terrible stain for the Yuan-ti. Fenthaza suggested that they could start a slave revolt, and they could attack him openly while the temple was distracted. To prove their loyalty in this tenuous alliance and get close enough to the throne room in the first place, Fenthaza offered to perform the ritual of the Night Serpent, which would transform one of them into a Yuan-ti. Mannix tentatively accepted. She told them to lie low for a few hours until summoned to the central Fane. Meanwhile, George wasn't happy being stuck in the prison pit. He asked fellow prisoner Xandala about the lay of the temple. Her knowledge as a prisoner was limited, but she knew the path to the slave grotto, which included a large storeroom guarded by a giant talking snake. George used her description to teleport both of them outside the prison and into the storeroom using his Cape of the Mountebank. The giant snake, Azimaz, was more curious and amused than hostile, and George immediately used that to his advantage, claiming that a ritual was soon to take place, and then he could, just on coincidence, and then he could guard the storeroom while the snake went to go watch. The satisfied Serpent slithered off. That's like a children's alliteration there. Satisfied Serpent slithered off, leaving George to examine the door on the far side, which Xandala mentioned led to the slave quarters and the caves they were being forced to expand. George lured a nearby guard through the door and killed it in a flurry of blows just as an invisible Gillian found them. They pulled back before getting into deeper shenanigans, and Gillian helped reunite the party in a nearby hallway. The party had a problem. While some of them were permitted to roam, provided they don't get into trouble, the others were distinctly prisoners. A nearby door was magically locked, and Mannix used his Keyblade dagger to force it open, shoving everyone inside. The armory had stacks of weapons and arrows and crates and piles of bones, some of which began to knit themselves into a large skeletal snake who intoned in a warning manner, "They will tell us the passphrase, so Ukulahumo has spoken." That is where we left off last time, as you all...
Oh, that's right. And I'm in the hallway.
You are in the hallway.
I'm not with everybody.
McCall. I believe the door is kept like 90% shut, is what I think we established. You guys wanted to like keep it propped a little bit, so I tried to recreate that in...
I mean, right now it doesn't matter, but in 10 minutes, if we actually shut the door, the arcane lock spell will take effect again.
Right. Yeah, and it's probably only been like a minute since you guys walked in. Which you guys are down here in this kind of middle left portion of the map. Yeah, Kales and Ishmael, you guys are in the hallway. The rest of you inside, you see this giant skeletal snake staring at you very menacingly. Looks like this. And he seems to have spoken to you in a heavily accented common.
Anybody hear anything about a password lately?
George says, "If we say the password out loud, how do we know that no one will hear it?"
Wow. If we don't say it too
I'm
loud.
talking to the bones.
Oh, you're talking the snake. Oh, okay. Yeah.
The creature whips its giant skeletal head in your direction and states, "Second request. They will tell us the passphrase, so Ulukahuma has spoken."
For Raznisi, today and forever.
Good try. It's probably not even close, but good try.
That was extremely eloquent. However, the snake rears up its head, and you see glowing pinprick like orbs suddenly like appear in its eyes, and it appears to begin to take hostile actions. However, the first thing that happens is two nearby crates, one on either side of you, stacked against the wall, suddenly explode outward as more bones, in a similar vein to the snake, begin forming and knitting themselves together. I need, let's see, is this George and Mannix right here? I need you two to give me a dex saving throw as these crates just disintegrate around you, and you have to avoid the flying shrapnel as these bones begin to knit themselves into large hulking forms.
Oh dear. What crates?
Well, there's one.
Oh,
I'm not
they're
gonna
not visible.
They're not. Yeah, these abstracted crates.
Theater of the mind. Crate.
That's right. For every crate you see, there are a dozen more just like it.
Oh no.
George and Mannix, give me dex saving throws, please.
Dexterity. That was a saving throw. Oh boy, look at that. We were on that shit.
Yeah, you guys, you saw that shit coming. You were able to dive out of the way and avoid getting hit by wood shards or shrapnel. But I am going to have to ask you to move to a different spot as you see these bones suddenly form into this large, hulking, skeletal creature with a bull-like head.
Oh boy.
And you see
on
both
this room
sides.
got real cramped real quick.
It did indeed. I need you guys to move to a nearby spot that is not on top of one of these. There you go. Perfect.
Oh no.
And with that, let us roll some initiative.
There's nowhere for me to hide in here.
George dodges and says, "Do you not believe in residency today and forever? Wait till he hears about this. Wait till he hears about this."
That's right. Berate the skeleton snake.
I'll be calling your superiors in the morning.
That's right.
If I survive.
I'd like to speak to your manager.
All right, Karen.
I'm reporting to HR.
This is Ulakarmu's third offense this month.
I can't load Roll20, so I can't do anything.
I could roll initiative for you.
That would be excellent. Am I still invisible?
You are still invisible. That is true.
But you're also surrounded by skeleton monsters at the moment, so
Let me paint you a picture. This room just got a lot more crowded. Well, bad news. I rolled a 20 for you, so you're probably one of the first ones up. At the same time that this happens, Celeste, around the same time, you see around the corner. Oops. Grab too many things here. A pair of bestial snake people, the brood guards that you've seen around, kind of the lower caste guards, come into this hallway looking very attentive and irritated, and their eyes lock with yours as they rasp at you as they approach. It says, "Found dead body in storage." And they jerk their heads back and point back where they came. "The Shishnat is gone. Have you seen anything?" And you and Ishmakal are not currently in combat, so I'm going to kind of go back and forth between you guys dealing with this at the same time that the others are in like turn-based battle mode, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to talk in 3-second intervals.
That's
Okay.
right.
Got this.
Gillian, are you in Roll20 or no at this point?
It is loading very, very slowly. I can see the room I'm in now, but my character sheet is not loading yet.
I did roll. Literally, you were the first one up.
By 0.01 point.
Yep.
That's
You got the Dex tiebreaker with Mannix the Rogue.
You're invisible, so you could just do.
Just stand there and
You've got a
I
giant...
mean, but you can give your place up in initiative order anyway, right?
If you want to let just Mannix go in front of you, that's totally fine.
Yeah, I'll just do that and see if my character sheet loads.
Just remember, Gillian, George can see everything you do.
You're invisible to everyone except
What?
George.
Oh,
I have my
oh so I
bandana.
can't just stand there because you'll know.
George sees Gillian just watching this battle with his arms folded.
Judging you all.
Of course, Gillian wouldn't care, but still.
Oh, so I'm going?
Indeed, sir.
Oh boy, there's no way I'm doing any hiding at all.
Oh no, they're like all the enemies didn't load at the same time. So this looks a lot worse than it did initially.
It's like you're playing an
You
old
are
video game
surrounded
and
by
things are
skeletons.
popping up one at a time.
Yep. Well, I don't have a good way. There's no way to get into like good flanking position here either. We are so cramped.
How
The
cramped are
one
you?
time I'm not in a room to jump on the back of a giant snake.
Yeah. It might be helpful here.
You can. Oh, you're not a hobbit. Never mind. I mean a halfling.
A small creature to run between his legs.
Yeah, I forgot.
Pull off that maneuver.
Yeah, I don't think my phantasmal force. I don't know if. Does it say anything about undead? I assume these things are undead, but
We have a rule about analyzing creatures in our house rules, which for undead I think is a religion check. Religion or Arcana, actually.
okay. Let's see if I can figure out what exactly these things are. Same roll way. All right, 22.
Mannix, in your studies, you have heard of Nagas. First of all, you've actually encountered a Naga before, which was the Oracle of Oralanga, whom you all saved and bestowed upon you all those charms. This is obviously a evil undead version of a Naga. So you would probably guess that it would retain some of its spellcasting capabilities. It also would have the undead traits of being immune to poison, as well as being immune to most of the mental conditions.
Right.
And the same would apply to these skeletons, which look like they are undead skeletal minotaurs. And you can see they are wielding giant axes, which have flown together from just one of the various weapon racks in this room. Although you think that one thing that minotaurs are known for is for charging and goring at people, and you think that them being in this tight space might actually work to your advantage because they probably wouldn't be able to charge and gore people.
Yeah, we're gonna be as cramped as we are. Okay.
And they would have the same undead features.
Yeah. So because they're undead, my phantasmal force mind spell is not going to do anything to them. So, I am going
Did you see
to...
they look magical at all? They're constructed out of magic.
I don't think they count as being constructed out of magic, even though I flavored it that way. They're not like summoned creatures, I'll say that. They are classified as just undead creatures. Is that like a philosophical question? Are all undead creatures magical in nature? Or
Not for my purpose.
okay.
That's right. I am going to weave my hands together and summon... Oh, well, hold on. Is this... Shit. Would I know if undead are immune or resistant to psychic damage?
With your roll, you think psychic damage is okay.
Okay. Okay. It's been like, none of my spells work on these creatures.
Right,
Good luck,
yeah.
guys.
You think
right.
immunity-wise, with undead, it's typically just poison. Conditions, though, are usually more...
Yeah. Can't charm or
Right, exactly.
mind mess with undead things. Okay. I'm going to weave my hands together and summon my Shadow Blade, which is just comes out as a shadowy blade of force. And then I'm going to use my action to do my green flame blade attack. And I built an attack for this. Or did I? There it is.
We determined green flame does not count as concentration. There's some way to stack these.
It's a cantrip. Green flame blade is like as part of your attack action, it does the spell.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll it so you can see it. Cast at what level? Cantrip. I don't know what that means. Okay.
Gotcha. This one says evocation 1, but
That's because it asked me to put a spell level in there whenever I cast it.
oh, okay.
I don't know why it asked me to do that. I guess I could have put 0. So that is. Fuck.
Oh man.
My first time with my
First,
fancy weapon.
it's tricky. It's tricky to get that shadow blade out, right?
Yep.
It's just says the words, pull out, and it's just this pencil-sized, like.
God damn it.
Is that just part of the
I'm gonna
spell
take
as you have to
one-
make the attack roll?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you get. Oh, I guess it's still up though, isn't it? Concentration.
Shadow Blade is I believe, the one that's concentration.
Okay.
Yeah, Shadow Blade gives me a weapon. It just gives
okay.
me a weapon. Green Flame Blade is an attack. It's like adds flame to an attack.
Okay. Okay, so sword's probably normal, but you just missed hitting.
Normally, my sword is normal, but the Green Flame Blade is just
Look,
magic
normally,
thing I'm
guys, the sword is huge, all right?
Normally, it's fine.
It's so
It's
big.
just a little shy right now.
It's a little cold in this armory. I mean,
That's right.
this big guy, this big skeleton guy is looking right at me.
I mean, he sees these really big guys. He's just being a little shy.
It happens.
Give it some time.
Give it some time.
I can
It
fix
needs
this.
to be rubbed and warmed up, so it'll be fine.
Great.
All right.
I had a lot of drink earlier, guys.
That's right.
Bar.
All right, let's go back to Gillian. You are currently invisible, surrounded by a lot of big skeletal things.
Okay. I really enjoyed my invisibility, but I should probably
Hey,
help.
you could pull a Mannix and just piece, just
I
take advantage.
crossed my mind. Okay, but I'm gonna use my bagpipes. Just bust those out. Like right now, I'm just invisible, and so I'm just going to suddenly blow my bagpipes as loud as I can to cast Call Lightning. Wait, hold on. Well, there we
Now,
go.
is that the one that requires the open sky, or can you summon lightning anywhere?
How tall is this room? would you say?
Does it have
Pretty
an
tall
open
room, don't you
air?
think? It doesn't have to be open air.
Okay.
It has to be 10 feet tall, though.
A storm cloud appears in the shape of a cylinder that is 10 feet tall with a 60-foot radius. I love how you guys are still trying to be like somewhat on the down low, and Gillian just fucking blares the bagpipes
Oh,
and
we're going in the
summons
down.
an entire lightning storm in the vicinity of
Well,
this room.
if it's not this, then I just have like a bow and arrow, and that is not useful. Well, how tall would you say this room is? Because if it's
I think you could just barely fit a storm cloud in this room if you wanted to.
perfect. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do then. We're casting a storm cloud, and then
All right, but here's the part I was looking at. It says the spell fails if you can't see a point in the air. Oh, I see. But
Where
okay,
so it
okay.
just has to be at least 10
I got you.
feet tall.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
then I'm gonna cast that, and so then each turn, which is a concentration spell, so I'm probably gonna only be able to use it for one turn before I get hit. But
This makes
yeah, I'm gonna
Celeste's
cast
job a lot more
that.
interesting now that she has to explain this giant storm localized at this time
And
of
then-
year.
Well, I mean, the
in
door
this
is
part
mostly
of the
shut. It's
It's
hard.
mostly shut.
Mostly shut.
Yeah.
It doesn't say it's loud. It doesn't say it's thunder. It's just lightning.
Just lightning. No.
Yeah.
It's just lightning.
It's lightning sandstorm.
So anyway, so then I'm gonna call lightning
It's a
down
little late
here.
now, but Gillian probably would have been the better guard outside. Being invisible.
Being invisible, maybe.
Oh,
And
right.
guard.
Well, it sounds like Calessa's gonna have to talk to somebody. So invisible.
This is gonna go great.
Okay, so
I understand your concern about stealth right now, but do you understand that there are like 3 giants around us?
This is very. Gillian was just have no time for any of this.
yeah. She's
Like,
pulls out
just
the biggest
Point
like
the situation
RPG.
out to you guys.
She pulls the biggest gun out of her backpack and just says, "We're fucking doing this. We're calling the lightning." Okay, so it's concentration. You can direct a bolt.
Mm-hmm. each creature within 5 feet at that point. So then I could presumably, if they're within 5 feet of each other, call it down right here in between these two. And it's a dex saving throw.
All right, so a giant storm cloud has localized inside of this entire armory room. Dark clouds forming along the top ceiling, and a bolt of lightning flashes down, probably exploding one of the weapon racks. And let's see if these guys can dodge. So we've got our Bone Naga, which is a dex save. Is able to dodge barely. What is the half damage, I think, probably?
It's half, yeah.
Okay. And then we've got our Minotaur friend, who's decidedly less dexterous. Yes, indeed. He takes the full
Excellent.
3 damage.
+0. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not interested in dodging lightning bolts. And you are officially uninvisible.
Okay.
All right, and Celeste, I'll get to you
Hi,
probably
Gillian.
after this round.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Crash. Oh God.
I'm
We're all
good.
dead.
Y'all just do your thing. I'm good.
All right.
Imagine how cool that would have looked. Like this lightning crashes and all of a sudden Gillian appears in this.
Very Thor arriving.
Wailing on the bagpipes in the middle of the room. Gillian, since you made the biggest splash and appeared in a font of glorious bagpipe, I don't even know what verb to use with bagpipes. I just bagpipery with lightning glowing. Both of the Minotaur skeletons turn, and one of them attempts to swipe at you with its great axe. Oh, with a 12.
Will not hit.
That one got a little singed from the lightning. The other one will do the same with a great axe attack.
Yikes.
That one will
All
find the mark. How does 16 slashing
Ouch.
damage?
It's not great.
That axe bites into you. And give me a con saving throw for that lightning spell. 'Cause I do believe we determined even if it's a item-based thing, we're still doing con saves.
Mhm.
Look at that! You are blowing on those bagpipes so hard.
She was real serious about the
Barely even missed a note when you got like sliced.
After you guys give me so much crap about calling it, then I have to
It's actually her
Better save.
best performance ever, in fact.
That's right.
Several of you are moved to tears. George, it is your turn.
George is gonna go for the top Minotaur.
Oh yeah, I didn't number these guys. Damn it.
Oh, you did.
I am getting bad about that.
Where are we? Ooh.
Oh, well, look at this. Holy crap. Back-to-back crits.
20s in a row.
Yeah.
I'm also going to use the Superior die to try and knock him down.
Ooh.
So first, the damage
Is large or smaller?
sneak attack.
Yeah, you want to definitely turn sneak attack on for that one. 16, 26.
26 plus a 6, so 32.
32
Damage.
damage. Wow.
And a strength save of 15 to not be knocked prone.
Strength save. All right, they look pretty strong. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
You just totally caught it off guard. It wasn't even paying attention to you. It was busy slicing up that
Blinded.
bagpipe playing turtle.
Blinded
Yeah,
by Gillian.
Yeah,
Knocked down from the back.
knocked down from the back. So it is
All right.
prone and took a beating. However, I will say that is not quite massive damage.
So now with my bonus action, hit them again.
And you have advantage. Yeah, 26.
You have advantage. And then with my extra attack, go again. It's a 9.
Boy.
Oh boy, yeah, doing a number.
Unfortunately, that's all I can do because I've already used my action surge.
Yeah, if this creature could wince, it would be wincing so hard.
Head eyebrows.
The skeletal snake creature will begin muttering in a language, and it will summon forth in this area, localized also entirely within this room, which is now about to get very busy.
Oh my god.
And it spews out a noxious gas out of its mouth that fills up the room and stinks really bad.
Oh no.
A 20-foot radius sphere of nauseating gas, which I'm pretty sure will cover this entire room. Each creature that is completely within the cloud at the start of its turn must make a con saving throw against poison. On a failed save, the creature spends its action that turn retching and reeling. Creatures that don't need to breathe or are immune to poison automatically succeed on the saving throw. And a moderate wind or a strong wind disperses the cloud. Just don't even try. You can hold your breath.
You can hold your breath for a while.
I mean, this spell doesn't say.
But does it say
hold
breathe?
breath.
It says creatures who don't need to breathe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And George does not need to breathe for an hour.
Right.
Hold your breath for up to an hour at a time.
Mm-hmm.
What I would do, George, I would give you advantage on the con save. How about that?
That other spell said that hold breath doesn't work.
That's true. Some of that probably for that reason, because the old ones people sort of said like, well, wait a minute, I can hold my breath.
I mean, you're DM, so
I will give you advantage when it is your turn if it is still in effect in place. I forgot to roll initiative for Xandala. That's my bad. Oh, excellent. So 3. And Kles, since you're not in this fight technically with your character, you can actually control Xandala when her turn comes up. But now we've got Theron. So Theron, I know I've asked you this a million times before, but does your poison immunity work while you are wild-shaped?
It does, but I'm only resistant.
Okay. So I need you to make a con saving throw to avoid spending your turn vomiting from the stinking cloud. We are looking for a 12.
Ah.
wait.
Wow.
What does resistant give you advantage?
I don't think so. Start events.
Nice.
Gillian's like, this would be useful for lucky.
Like, what does poison resistance give you?
Like
It is
half
the
damage from
type.
poison, yeah. Theron, you spend your turn like just choking up as your poor small snake form just inhales all of this awful, awful
I
gas.
have advantage on saving throws against poison.
Okay. Is that part of dwarfness then? There you go. I would count that then, for sure.
All right.
You have a +7. Surely, there you go.
I know. I rolled 3.
That's why you really wanted that advantage. The
Yeah.
odds.
All right. As a bonus action, I say, haha, I'm not a small snake at all.
He's been waiting to say that for
I'm
3
a slightly
sessions.
larger snake.
I'm an average-sized dwarf. And I say, suck gas. And cast Dispel Magic.
Please fill this room with more things. Oh. Let's see. Choose one creature after magic effect in range. Any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. Okay, so you automatically end that spell effect.
Ooh.
That was
Just
a
wave away the stinking
yeah.
cloud.
That was a 3rd level spell.
And I say, if I was more clever, I'd have a better one-liner. Oh well.
You're doing God's work there.
That's right. The dissipating gas, or the gas begins to dissipate from the room.
I dissipate gas all the time.
That's right. So, Celeste, do you still have Xandala's character sheet?
Yeah. Can you give me sight for?
I give you sight of her, maybe.
'Cause I can't see in the.
Oh. Yeah. Does that help?
Thank you.
Okay.
And I have a whole shit ton of cantrip and 2 level 1 spells.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. And I'm not allowed to use the other fun sorcerer things that I know they can do.
Sorry. She's an NPC
Fingers
sorcerer, not a
crossed.
full PC sorcerer.
Well, here's the question though: as an NPC sorcerer versus a, does she have a
Whatever she has on the character sheet
focus?
is what she can do.
No, arcane focus, or does she require the use of everything else?
That's a good question. We've never actually even really used focuses in our games, I feel like. Especially
Always
as
assume everybody has one.
yeah, I mean, she
Uh-huh.
was a prisoner, but let's just not worry about it. Let's assume that she can
Okay.
do that. Although, I don't think she'd be able to cast Chromatic Orb because that does require a diamond worth at least 50 gold pieces, which she does not have on her possession currently.
Well, that's why I was asking if she had a focus instead.
Well, I think we do still follow the rules of having material components that are that have an actual monetary cost, because those are like baked into the balance level of the spell. Like to resurrect somebody, it takes like 1,000 gold thing or a 500 gold thing or something. I love how I just keep nerfing this
Okay.
character for you.
Stop asking questions. She gets worse.
It gets worse and worse as you go. Look, she's been a prisoner in the Yuan-ti temple for at least a day or two. Give her some slack.
Hear that, Mannix? If you want to be resurrected, I need 2,000 gold up front.
Oh no!
That's right.
All right. So, action.
Start your indentured servitude now.
I did about to say I'm gonna go into so much debt.
Welcome to having life insurance or health insurance. I guess it's life insurance too if you get resurrected.
It's
Technically life insurance.
Yeah, Theron, can I pay you just like 50 gold a month just forever on the off chance that I do die, and we can call that life insurance?
Based on your survival rates, I'd say a day.
Your premiums are going to be
Right.
through the roof.
All right. So, we'll just do this. Ray of Frost.
There you go.
Go cantrips. This did not roll right because it's supposed to roll 2d8 because she's a level 9. So
Right. I don't know how to even bake that in with the NPC. Just go ahead and roll another one.
slash roll 2 or 1d8.
Not sure if the NPC ones even scale up properly.
3.
Which one were you targeting?
Wait, where did that go again? This big guy.
Naga, skeleton snake.
Yeah.
Ray of Frost slams into it. It hisses back. All right.
Its speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of my next turn.
Its speed is reduced by
That
10
is
feet. You
insane.
heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. Yeah. All she's got is cantrip.
Xandala says that. All I've got is cantrips. I need a rest. All right, before we go to the top of the round, Kaless, let's deal with your little social situation here. So, as I mentioned, from the hallway, these two guards, bestial guards, come in, and they have jerked back and mentioned the body from the storage room, which I don't know if you've had a chance to talk to George about what shenanigans he got up to, or if that came up in conversation.
Nope.
Do you have any idea what they're
You
talking
can just
about?
assume, though.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about, but Kaless technically does not know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so you see these guards coming around the corner. They're looking at you pointedly, with, asking these questions. Ishmael looks at you nervously, looks at the door being a sliver open and having like lightning bolts and the sound of crashing and fury in there. And they are, they actually walk over to one of this pillar and just casually lean across it to try and like cut off as much line of sight as possible, and then look at you in a panic.
Mm-hmm. So I take it the two brood guard guys are like demanding answers or something?
Yeah, they look like they've come this way. They are they're irritated. They're wondering why they just found a dead body in the storeroom, and they've just headed your way, and now they're pointedly asking you WTF, basically.
Well, technically, they asked me if I'd seen anything or if
Yeah.
I know anything.
Yep.
So she would just look at them and go, no. And like literally the like one brow raise and just no. But in her very haughty, I don't have time for you.
Yeah, Ishmael kind of takes your cue and just shrugs shoulders very nonchalantly and makes like a hand gesture or something. Just tries to look as innocent as possible, which for
She'll,
them looks quite difficult.
She'll further tell the brood guards when she notices them probably trying to open their mouth to argue in their wonderful half snake, half draconic language to go ask Sokash. I only just recently came down this hall. How dare you accuse the priestess's guests?
Give me a deception check, please.
I'm gonna get this damn check off one of these days. I swear I will. Oh wait, why does it auto go to advantage? Like seriously. Haha! Better than 11.
Is insight, charisma, or wisdom for you guys?
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
I'll roll a contested wisdom check, but unless I get a 20, I think you've got it. All right.
Wow.
They look irritated at both of you, but just one of them just kind of jerks its head and begins shuffling down this hallway, still pretty close by though, and keeping at least one eye on you as they go down into the next hall, clearly still agitated and looking for answers.
As they walk past, she'll like hiss real low at them that like, pray I don't tell your priestess what you've done.
Go hard on him.
Yeah. One of them kind of like cocks an eyebrow and like hurries on a little bit faster.
And she'll show her teeth. That's what she takes to be a smile.
Right, it's just a terrible grimace. It's like a baring of the fangs. Gillian.
Well, I think I'm gonna call lightning again.
Yeah. Does that take an action to keep doing it, or can you do that as a bonus action?
Yeah, I think it's still an action, which is kind of the crappy part. I don't have much in the way of bonus actions other than healing word. So it's still an action to just, like, the spell is still up,
Right.
so it's not a spell slot, just an action. So 23.
Okay. I guess the only difference is you could change targets technically, but
You can change targets, yeah.
yeah.
Like, as long as it's within the funnel, which I assume is taking up the entire room.
Yeah, I think that's pretty safe.
This whole room is a
Assume
storm.
it is a
I'm just
storm.
leaving it in the same place right now.
All right, so we've got some deck saves. The Naga is going to make it again. Seems pretty dexy. It's the same damage as last time, isn't it? 3.
Mm-hmm.
The Minotaur is going to fail terribly again.
All right.
Take a full 23 damage. Everybody in this room honestly looks pretty messed up now between all these lightning strikes and George's incredible crit. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I'm just healing myself a little bit.
Gotcha.
That's all. And I'm done.
Yeah, you guys have evenly distributed all the damage. I appreciate it.
That's right.
Mr. Mannix.
What? We have very few choices. We can't really move. So it's
Yeah.
whoever we happen to be standing next to.
Just get the nearest ones.
All right, I'm gonna try my Shadow Flame blade again. God damn it!
Oh, man.
One day.
One day. And you know these guys, Minotaur skeletons don't have a whole lot of AC,
I bet.
but 10 is not quite going to do it. You're still working the kinks out on that Shadow Blade.
That's right. Is this a crate next to me?
Sure.
Can I attempt to crawl into the crate?
That is a closed crate.
Okay, so what? It would take like an action to open the crate?
I think I would have to rule that it would take something to actually open the crate and crawl inside. I like where your head's at, though.
All right, then I'll use my bonus action to shrink into the corner as much as possible.
Just shrink into the corner. Curl up into a ball. Shorten my form. Well, I mean, the good news is you're missing, so you're not drawing the ire of the Minotaur skeleton.
I guess that's true.
The skeletons
Yeah.
are still firmly locked onto the lightning summoning sea witch in the middle of the room here.
Right.
So you're actually, the good news is you're not much of a threat.
Okay, great. Backhanded compliment.
That's right. So number 2 will swing its great axe at Gillian. Oh my goodness, that one can't get out of its own way.
This really is the performance of your life, Gilly.
It's yeah, you've been decimating me
I know.
and tanking quite well for some reason. The other one will slowly stand up, turn around to George, who so terribly downed it, and attempt to swing its great axe at George. Oh my god, Minotaur skeletons! I thought you were so cool on paper, and you're just embarrassing me in front of the players. A fucking 5 and a fucking 3. Where's my tiny violin? All right, George.
I can squeeze the cat and make it meow for you.
George is gonna attack Minotaur number 1. The one who just missed him. Okay. And you know what?
Oh my gosh.
Let's trip him again.
Just keep embarrassing these Minotaurs. Just
Terribly embarrassing. Oh, true. Okay. Does that 8
tripping
add
him
to the
again.
damage?
Yeah, adds he's been a superior die to the damage roll. I just rolled it, but I'm still waiting for him to trip. Or do you want me to roll my damage first?
Roll the damage first. Yeah. Okay, so 15 and then the trip.
Yeah, so you roll a 15 strength save to not be knocked prone again.
Finally, they fucking do something right.
he remembered that attack from last time.
Yeah, his eyes glow green with rage.
He's paying attention this time. Last time he was looking away.
That's right. Yep.
All right. It's good try. Good try. That's 15. So bonus attack.
He's just nailing all these 20 plus. For
Still alive?
Oh my gosh. More than anything, that trip attack just did an extra 8 damage though, too.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, the 12 kills it.
Okay.
Yeah, the 12 actually downed it. With the second attack, even though it stands up very menacingly, you're able to just thrust your sword right into its central core, and it just kind of shudders for a moment, and then all the bones crumble apart.
I still have one more attack left. So I guess I'll go for the Bone Naga thingy.
Bone Naga thingy.
No flanking bonus. For 6.
Or 6. It's getting pretty messed up as well. Speaking of Bone Naga thingy, it will. Fuck it! It's gonna do the same thing. It's gonna make Theron spend his spell slots. It's gonna once again utter phrases and follow its programming, which is to fill this room full of the nauseating, stinking cloud of gas. That's all it does on its turn. Mr. Theron, I need a Constitution saving throw, but you do have advantage. Oh my goodness.
Just to show.
Yeah.
Just a flex on that con save.
I will also follow my programming.
We're locked
Wizard
in
battle.
a battle of wills.
I've missed these days.
That's right. Counter
I
spell.
counter your
Overruled.
spell.
That's right.
Objection.
Sustained.
Curses. Bone Nugget's like, oh right, I forgot about that. Except he's undead and doesn't even think of these things.
Well, that was fun.
That was fun. It's good times. You shake hands with the skeletal snake. No, Xandala.
Good game.
Good game. Really thought I had you there with the second one.
Yeah, it was a close one.
You'll get there, buddy.
Want to go for drinks?
I mean, yeah.
Tell me more about this dispel magic you're doing.
It's a new spell.
We have class as Xandala.
Oh, no wonder your thing doesn't work right. None of these spells are in here. Ugh, I'm fixing your character sheet for you.
Hey, look, Xandala's been a prisoner for several days. All of her shit's messed up.
It's
Why did
messed up her
she not
character.
get her ability modifier for her damage roll? That's some bullshit right there.
I feel like I'm being audited right now.
You are. Alright. Bet the bone nugget.
Fire this time.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It's still not rolling right, though.
Cantrips usually don't
Yeah.
add the modifier, actually.
I think you have to just manually do it when they level up, which I've noticed NPCs, the way Roll20 set it up, they don't ever change it based
Their
on the
levels
level.
aren't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, it has the ability to change it in here. But maybe because I don't actually own the sheet, it won't let me.
Mm.
The blast of fire blazes into the bone naga, and it looks like it is barely clinging to unlife. Its bones all scorched and blackened at this point.
Alright, hang on, I'm gonna see if this did it.
That's a
It did! This fixed it. Okay. Okay, I fixed it. Never mind. Alright.
Meanwhile, out in the hallway, you see the those same guards beginning to talk to Sokosh and jerking their head. Then they're obviously not referring to you, but just kind of pointing down the hall, and you can overhear pretty easily without a perception check that they're obviously basically asking them the same thing as they asked you. And Sokosh looks concerned now, and you overhear him saying, like, show me what's going on, and then he motions for two more guards to come with him, and they appear to be going now back down the hall. This is the kind of fat, pure blood eating out of a little sack.
Mm-hmm.
And they begin coming back down the hall near the door. Do you want to do anything, or just let them kind of come for now?
Well, I mean, my initial thought is because the door is open just a little bit, so they don't get locked in, so you can see like a piece of the wall behind the door.
I think we determined, as Mannix said, you could close it right now because the magic
But
is
he said
suppressed
he left
for...
his
Yeah.
unseen servant holding.
Right,
the-
yeah, you would
so
have to close it
it's
at the moment.
technically open. Yeah.
Oh, well, I can say I told. Or no, I didn't do that. No, Unseen Servant's still over holding the gong. That's what he's doing.
So is the door shut then?
You can close it. It was just a sliver open, but it for the next 10 minutes it can stay closed.
Okay.
Yeah, the rules of the
She'll
arcane
just-
lock will turn back on in about 10 minutes.
Okay, so she'll just look at what's his name and just like do a little head jerk to like shut the door.
Yeah, Yuan-ti goes over there very nonchalantly, rolls around the pillar and just kind of back and kind of motions for you to like make a slight distraction in some way so they're not all like literally looking down this hallway because so they are like a noise or something so they can shut the door.
Alright, so as he does that, I'll look at as he's closing the door here.
Mhm.
Because I mean, this can't go wrong, right? This will be fun. She'll look at Sokesh and go, finally! And just look at him and just wait expectantly.
Okay. He kind of like straightens up a little bit and looks suddenly like worried. And they all look at you, and at that same moment when you shout that, Ishmael immediately like goes over and like just pulls the door closed real quick. And just kind of like leans like right there very casually.
Mm-hmm. So as they all stand up a little straighter, she'll just again, she has no like really good speaking skills with people in the slightest. Just look at Sokesh and ask him what the meaning of these two is insulting their priestess's guest.
Sokesh says
She'll look at him and ask him if he is going to be dealing with it, or do I have to have a word with the priest?
He says, I don't know what's going on. I think they said that one of the guards is dead, was killed, a bunch of murdered in the storeroom, and Azimaz isn't in there. I think that there's something foul afoot.
Who is Azimaz and why do I care?
Ishmael immediately comes over here and says, oh, of course, darlings, I'm sure that bloody snake probably killed it, you know, of course we love snakes and everything. I love snakes. You love snake. We all love snakes here, right? Alas? And Azimaz, the great venerated snake of the temple, right?
See, now, again, this is where my thought process differs from what I should probably do. What I would really do it if I was like an asshole assassin type of a thing, being that she would turn around and backhand Ishmael for speaking when he is supposed to be a guide only. Which would be a distraction. And one that I don't think Sokesh would probably have a problem with how we heard him talk to this guy earlier about being back in the harem. So I'm gonna do that. I'm going to turn around and just backhand Sokesh.
Okay.
And ask him, how dare you speak while I am speaking to him? The priestess said you were to guide where we wish to go, not speak for it. You be quiet. And then I'll turn back to Sokesh and look expectantly at him as for an answer to my previous question as to what he's going to do with the insult that these two brood guards provided.
Ishmael reels backwards and looks hurt momentarily, but then kind of takes your cue and really like hams him and says, "Ah!" and falls back. Sokesh looks amused and enjoyed that display of aggression and seems to just kind of grunt in approval and says, I don't know who you're supposed to be, but if the priestess needs to know about it, I'm sure you can let her know if there's actual trouble here in the temple. And he looks like he's ready to start just kind of taking them down the hallway, assuming you'll let them just go past. And he just kind of like smirks at Ishmael. Tell there's no love lost there.
Yeah. I'll let them go past, but I don't. They have to go around.
Okay. It's a very like respect thing. They all have to like just awkwardly go around you, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And from what you've seen, the Brood Guards and Purebloods seem to be at about the same like caste level in terms of like where they are standing are in the temple. So within amongst each other's ranks, they can, bully or be whatever kind of relationship between subservient and intimidation that they can be. But it's until you get to the higher levels, where the ones that are actually part snake, that you know that there is a respect demanded at that point. From what you've seen in the Yuan-ti temple,
which is why she didn't move.
So this troop looks like they are now headed back down the hall. They are still kind of in the vicinity. We are going to start with and right about this time. So we're going to start with Gillian in here, but you've been hearing lightning bolts now, and the group inside doesn't know this, but there is a large force outside, just outside the door, passing beside it.
Please don't open the door. I've done really good, I think, trying to get them to go away.
A skeletal mentor is like thrown through the door. Like a bar fight.
Yeah.
Well, so Gillian is probably going to call lightning again.
It's working so well so
Works
far.
pretty well so far.
Been not that interesting, but consistent and effective.
Yeah.
Just like Gillian.
Ooh,
Could be.
only, thank you, babe.
Actually, put that on my business card.
Just like Rochelle, too. Okay, 16. Not so great.
That is, lower damage.
That is
all right.
perfectly average. A 10, a 1, and a 5 out of a...
Wow, Bone Naga did finally fail its save, however, and that lightning bolt crashes down, and finally it completely electrifies the skeletal snake, and it is killed. The explosion.
Wow, I think you soloed that Naga. I don't think any of the rest of it.
I think George hit it like once, but otherwise, yeah, it was all lightning
okay.
bolts.
I hit it twice.
That's true. Yeah, Xandala was shooting it.
Oh, Xandala was shooting at it. Okay.
I gave it like pinprick. She did all the hard work.
The Minotaur also takes full
Fine.
damage, and the exact
It was a group
same
effort.
the exact same result happens, where this lightning bolt blasts both of them to smithereens. That's the good news. The bad news is this lightning bolt blast exploding these two skeletons in the room makes a pretty loud noise, and immediately, like, this whole group out here seems to kind of stop and just kind of turn almost in unison, quizzically looking at Celeste, you, and then kind of towards the door.
I'll just raise an eyebrow and just hiss at them. Yeah.
So Gosh says, "What the hell was that?"
Work being done for your priestess. Nothing you need to worry about.
Roll an intimidation check.
Fuck. I'm not bad at that one. Hey!
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
She just like totally channels all of her inner drow and just makes it the scariest fucking thing they've ever seen.
Yeah.
They thought Rosny was scary, not
With that roll, yeah, the brood guards all like visibly like lean their whole bodies back, and Sokash almost like drops his little bag of food and just kind of says, "Oh, sure, fine, okay." and just motions for all the guards to just continue on down the hallway.
She'll go shoot.
And they disappear from view from the moment. And you guys inside the room are out of combat now.
Gillian bows after her epic performance.
A clap.
Yeah, that was a lot of lightning bolt blasts. Best bagpipes.
Yes, but now what? I am no longer in the now, so like
I'm unhappy.
I bow, but then I just sort of stand up like, shit.
Well, what else is in this room besides the bones of fallen enemies?
You see that it appears to be their armory. It's got a lot of swords and bows and arrows. The Yuan-ti don't use armor, but a lot of weaponry. Of note, you notice, obviously there's mundane arrows and bolts also, but there also appears to be a quiver of arrows that appear to have already been not soaked, laced with the poison tips that you've felt whenever the Yuan-ti have attacked you with bows. They've had extra poison damage.
Ah. So that wasn't just innate. They actually had weapons that did that? Or
you imagine they can make somehow make that poison concoction and then lace their weapons with it, and they just had arrows ready to go in this armory.
Nice.
Ishmael actually comes over and kind of cracks the door open a little bit and says, "You're not making this very easy in there. Oh my goodness, what is this?"
We're fine. Everything's fine here. Don't come in.
You'll notice he's sporting a black eye.
Mm.
Yeah. Rubbing their face.
I would like to take some poison arrows, please.
Okay. There is a total of 12 of them, and they add an extra 2d6 poison damage when fired. And you can use them for bolts or arrows, whatever you want. I don't care. It can work for any of them.
Poison tips. You can add them to whatever.
Exactly. Poison tipped. What do you call the heads of it? Heads. I don't know.
Tips.
Tips. Just the tip.
Just the tip.
An arrowhead.
Yeah, kind of like that.
You said they add 2d6?
They add 2d6 poison damage.
I already had some poison bolts, so I should. Well, I just want to see if it's the same. Because it's like gibberish when I'm trying to look at it in Roll20.
It's gibberish.
I don't know.
Poison bolt. Let's see.
I think so. I mean, it says like 1d6 plus dex, but then it also says 2d6 poison. So I think that's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I didn't mean to do that. How did I do that?
That looks right. Because that's your normal ranged arrow damage. And then, that's the 2d6.
So they just did 2d6. Okay. Was anyone else wanting to take some poison arrows? No? All right. All for me.
You also find in one of the small, and most of it's pretty mundane stuff, but in one of the small, kind of in a pouch type thing, you find 5 vials of what look like a poisonous substance. Do any of you have any kind of proficiency with poisons, I guess?
Poisoners kit?
Yeah, but say, didn't you just take that?
Yeah.
I've had that for a while.
Oh, okay. It was the alchemical thing you just took.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kalas, assuming you make your way, excuse me, in this room at some point, you can identify 5 vials of serpent venom poison, which
4 vials. One of those is going straight in the pocket.
Straight in the pocket.
4 vials. There's 4.
It's 4 vials. Serpent venom poison. This poison, so it can be as an action. You can coat a piercing or slashing weapon with 1 vial of this poison, and when it hits a creature as part of your attack, in addition to whatever normal damage you would do, the target must make a DC 11 con saving throw, and if they fail, they take 3d6 poison damage. If they succeed, they take half the poison damage.
So there's 4 bottles of snake poison.
And that's 1 use per.
That's
right?
one use. That
Per
is 1
bottle?
use per. Yeah. So
Well, you should just take them all class.
yeah.
You're gonna be doing more poison stabbing than the rest of.
And
Sweet.
it doesn't say there's any time limit on when you coat it, so you could just coat a weapon. It would take an action, but like you could do it outside of combat. Just coat a weapon, and then just leave it coated in a vial of poison, and then that first hit that you do would do those effects. As far as I'm understanding it correctly.
Yeah, I'll do that. Bob's gonna take a dip.
Bob's
I'm gonna
taking.
dip my stick.
Dip it in that inky blackness.
Mm-hmm. Dip that stick.
These bodies in here because they're kind of crowding things up. Ishmael says, well,
we sweep all the bones into a corner.
yeah, exactly. Says,
Put them in a
my
crate.
goodness, that was very loud. But I think we finally got a room to ourselves, darlings. Please don't leave me alone with this one anymore. they just refer to Celeste back there.
No one likes to be left
She's-
alone with Celeste. Don't worry about it.
She's terrifying.
Everyone comes out with some injury or another.
His growing black eye.
Yeah. Well, I think the plan we initially ducked in here was to hang out here until I have to go to the ceremony. I'm not entirely sure what the plan was after that. But
Yeah, Ishmael mentions that the ritual should start in like a matter of an hour or two at this point. So, and generally, this armory is only used by the highest ranking, so like a Fenthaza or somebody or Rosnisi to distribute, to distribute weapons to any kind of forces that are going out of the temple. So, for example, that force that came out to attack the Grung temple or shrine, for example. And Ishmael mentions that since they just sent a force out recently and it was decimated, they're probably not sending out another force too terribly soon.
So as I'm pouring this serpent venom over my bob, I'm just gonna nonchalantly throw out like, who the hell killed one of the guards?
who did do that?
George says, what guard?
The one that's dead in his storeroom. Something about a snake that's missing.
Yes. Snake could have killed the guard.
That
She
could
just
have
looks at
happened.
George,
There are many possibilities.
Do you know anything about this dead guard that you're talking about?
Yes, you idiot! The one you murdered.
What? Me?
Yes,
Makes
you.
sense.
You called that.
You're the,
You
you're the one that didn't follow my
you
plan.
brought that. There was no plan. You
There was a plan.
convinced
We were
that
gonna
snake
free
to
the
leave the
slave.
room, which was all well and good, and then you opened a door and lured a guard inside and then murdered him and left the body there in the doorway, and then we all ran out of there.
Great.
I'll just look at George and go, "That's good plan."
Doesn't sound like something I would do.
Completely out of character.
Then she'll remember that there's like 5 of them going to investigate the dead body. So, yeah, we might have to deal with it. And
As
then
long
she'll go
as
back
we're-
to coating her sword in the snake venom.
As long as we're behind this door, which actually, well, yeah. I can. What I'll do is I'll crack the door open again because since we're going to be here longer than 10 minutes, I'll coat the door, but I will cast Silent Image on the door to make it look like it's shut and whatever magic is still going. Was the magic visible before?
No.
It wasn't? Okay. I'll just make it look like the door is shut.
Okay.
And we'll block the door from the inside.
Okay.
During that time. Just in case anyone tries to open it.
Okay. Silent Image is a actual spell slot spell, right?
It is.
Okay. How long does it last?
That's a good question, actually. This may not be a good plan at all.
I mean, the other idea is you'll have to pay attention to and just have it up whenever somebody's walking by.
Mm-hmm. Or, what's not a spell is minor illusion. I think it's the same thing. An image in... no larger than a 5-foot cube. I don't know if the door is taller than 5 feet. Probably.
Most doors are.
Yeah.
Most doors are, yeah.
I'd say it's probably close, but yeah, it's going to be...
I could probably, fake at least a door seam, right? Just
probably.
a door that's cracked open, make it look like it's fully closed.
I mean, and also, people tend to just look at eye level. They don't look,
That's
down.
true.
Or
Just put it right in the middle.
Just put it in the middle.
If anyone inspects the top or the bottom of the door, they'll see it. There's a little
It's
crack.
probably not that well lit in here anyway.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I'll use that minor illusion.
All right. Ishmael says, well, darlings, it's been a lot of fun, but I think my job here is done. I need to be getting back to the harem and making my appearances there. I look forward to seeing the show later tonight.
What are we gonna do during this show? Your services are not done, my friend. We have no plan until this show happens. Or after the show happens, I suppose.
Never seem to have a plan. You operate all very strangely. I kind of like it.
I'm glad you appreciate our madness.
Well, I'll tell you this. During the ritual, the entire temple turns out for it. It means that most of the areas are mostly deserted. So, while you are transforming, I'm sure maybe the rest of your friends could sneak around and get into all sorts of trouble. Now, I don't know how easy it would be to get into the throne room, seeing as how the main doors are connected to the cathedral, and you'll be hard-pressed to get in there, but there is an underground river that runs directly through all of these caves, and I suspect runs up to the throne room as well. There is, of course, that giant monster that lives in the river, but nothing you all can't handle, I'm sure. Just a thought, of course. I am trying to be so very helpful.
Clovis will just smile at him, freak him out a little.
Ugh.
Not a bad plan. My transfer. Mannix is also imagining, I don't actually want my friends to see whatever me going through, whatever I'm about to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a bad plan. I'll just serve as a distraction with everyone watching the ceremony or the ritual. And then you guys can, I don't know, sneak around to wherever you can find.
To the south lies the caves. It sounds like George nearly made it into the slave grotto. Most likely the slave master will still be holding court down there instead of watching the ritual. There's a Venom distillery run by a very odd pureblood named Chopal. Most likely he would not attend the ritual either, very obsessed with his work in poisons. A bunch of creepy undead around him as well. It's very unsettling. The actual Yuan-ti quarters are to the southeast, which should be mostly emptied as they attend the ritual. You can get to the river through all these different means, but it could be dangerous, of course. It's all very dangerous.
Word is lost all meaning.
Exactly.
Mannix, if you come out of this alive, we need to teach you some sort of signal in case we don't recognize your grotesque form anymore.
If I look at my grotesque form, a password?
No, too easy to guess.
Yeah, because your guess was so good earlier.
Actually, that'd be a hilarious password for later.
Yes, let's use that password.
Wait, what was it?
For Raznisi, today and forever.
For Rasny C today and forever. Great. I'll remember that.
It's like the refrain on a Disney song or something.
Yeah.
Today and forever.
Next thing you know, Idina Menzel will be stepping out to sea.
Yeah, if you guys wish, you can hang out in this room and just kind of keep an eye out for any patrols or anything, but it doesn't seem like anybody normally comes in here, especially given the monstrous guardian that was in here.
Right.
The fact the door was magically sealed and that there was a monster guardian here that demanded a passphrase and then attacked. You imagine this is not a very commonly used room.
Do we have enough time to take a rest of some kind?
You can take a short rest.
Okay. I'll take a short rest. Get a spell slot back.
And with that, Ishmakal waves you all goodbye. For now, at least.
Bye, Ishmakal. We're marginally useful.
They bow. That's the best I could have hoped for. Try not to kill everyone in here. And just walks away. Yeah, you guys can slink inside and get a short rest as you pass the time until the ritual. Before we, yeah, you guys can go in short rest. Before we go on break, Xandala approaches you, Mannix, as you guys are kind of in this room, and says, "Mr. Mannix, can we speak privately?"
Finally, you're gonna pay me?
She glares at you. Says, "The job is not quite completed.
Suppose not.
Tell me."
I found him though.
You did. Tell me, has Artis ever used the Ring of Winter since you met him?
What? What?
The ring. Has he ever used the ring?
What's this about a ring? I found him because he's your dad, right?
She says, look, I'll be honest with you. It's not the man I'm after. It's the ring. He is a fool and a coward to hoard such a powerful artifact. Think of all the hardship and pain that could have been avoided if he used it to help you all. You wouldn't need to go through all this nonsense. Could have simply blasted down the doors of this temple and reduced every goddamn snake in here to an icy grave. Artis is afraid of the power of the ring, but I am not. I have the blood of dragons flowing through me.
Can I while she's giving this very grandiose speech, can I very nonchalantly slip down my glasses?
Yeah. Readjust your glasses.
Mm-hmm. Continue.
She says, I have the blood of dragons flowing through me. With the ring in my possession, I can ensure its powers are fully utilized.
Okay. That's interesting. So he's not your dad.
She shakes her head. No, I apologize for the discretion that had to be made there. I wasn't sure if I could fully trust anyone when it involved the Ring of Winter, as I'm sure you've now realized.
See, the problem is, I'm not sure you realize what it is I do for a living. I am a private detective, lady. I find people, for reasons. What I am not is a thief, and what I am not is a fucking bounty hunter. So if you're telling me that you dragged me halfway across the goddamn world to kill a dude and take his shit,
He says, we do
we're
not
gonna have some real problems.
We won't have to kill him. But if there is something that I've learned from my time in this God's forsaken jungle, it's that maybe I can't entirely do this by myself. But
So
if
you want this ring, or God.
She says, if I am fully rested and at full power, I can command him to give me the ring.
To what? And at this point, I'm actually using my glasses to try to like. Well, I guess right now I'll do it. The ruby lenses. What emotions do I see exuding off of this woman?
Passion. She is telling the truth about everything that she said here. And she appears to be just trying to appeal to you in a very passionate way in terms of how her own goals about getting the ring.
Well, here's another thing. See, we heard fairly recently from some frost giants that this ring contains the sort of magic that is, I'm not sure what phrase they used, but world ending was the gist I got. Is that your understanding of this thing also?
My understanding is that it is exceptionally powerful, and it should not lie with someone who spends their entire time fleeing from monstrous creatures that would get their hands on it.
Mm-hmm.
And what exactly would you do with it?
Make it so that no one would even dare to come after me with the ring, because they would know I am fully capable of using it to its extent.
Well, see, here's the thing. I've seen evidence that Artis has used the ring in self-defense to keep things off of him. So what you're describing and what he's doing with it, the difference is marginal. But I'm guessing your intentions with the ring are slightly more active.
You could say that. Just think of the things that could be done with someone with the will to do it.
I'm thinking of a lot of things, and most of them are very, very bad.
I could use it to get us all out of the jungle. I could use it to destroy this whole city, demolish whatever problems are happening in the world, fix everything.
Okay. I suppose
You've
you could.
already found the man. That's what I hired you to do, and I will pay you to do that. I will pay you more if you can assist me in then acquiring the ring? I know that he has that God's damned lizard man thing, and that's going to be a bit of a problem.
George
I tell you,
she doesn't have any money on her.
that's a very good point. That is a very good point. And she's reneged on paying me like 4 times at this point. I tell you what, I ain't taking any new contracts with you at the moment. We'll complete the one we got, and when I get you to Artis, we'll have a discussion with him, and then at that point, we can negotiate any new contracts amongst the 3 of us.
Artis will never give up the ring.
We'll have to deal with that when we get there, I suppose. Like I said, I ain't a thief and I ain't a thug, lady.
I understand, and I respect that. I was hoping that you would be able to see how much better it would be with such a powerful artifact and a powerful person on your side.
I ain't paid to see things like that. I'm paid to get you to the man.
If money is all you're after, then money you shall have. Trying to be Princess Leia now. Money is all you care about, then money you shall have.
We'll see. I'll get you to the man. That's as far as I can make any promises. So that's the agreement we made.
That is true. And I appreciate that, at least.
Can I reconnoiter with my fellows after this conversation? And without her in earshot, I don't know if I can even do that, but
I mean, we can. It's that classic moment in the downtime of a movie where people are forming little pocket groups and having these little discussions.
She's off camera in the corner.
Yeah, exactly. The camera's panned over to this other group. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to break first, and then we will come back and we can discuss this, and then we will get to the ritual. All righty then. I believe we are coming back from our break. So, Mannix, you just had a powwow with Xandala about her true intentions. And this is kind of during your short rest. So you guys do all the short rest things. And I believe you wanted a...
Yeah, what I didn't do, which thought about I should have done. So let's say I did it.
That's just a...
How that works, right?
Yeah. A good philosophy right there. Like quick talking, like, what I should have done, I didn't do it, so I'm going to do it. And I did it.
You guys all remember what I did.
Yeah, right? Let's just
We're all there.
Is actually roll some sort of insight check on Xandala as we were talking. And what I want to try to ascertain is whether I think, because this is his primary question, whether I think her desire for the power of this ring is righteous in nature or like world-conquering tyrant in nature.
If you asked her a question or at least a luring question or something that was associated with that, then you could
I think
insight
what
a
I think
response off of it. I guess
that's kind of what I was trying to get at with the like, what are you do with the ring, actively do
Okay.
with the ring. She kind of went off about how she could help us, but I'm more interested in what she's going to do after that. Like, what is her intention with the ring after? Like, you say you're going to make sure no one can, fight you to take your ring, but I feel like you're going to do things with this ring. So what are they?
So do you want to still be in that conversation is what you're telling me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll start walking away from her, then I turn back like, hold on.
Hang on, I have more questions. Go back to that dialogue tree. Wait a minute, I have to go back to this dialogue tree and get halfway through
I didn't
again.
choose the right one.
Yeah. She says, well, I am not some kind of insane mastermind with plans to take over the world, if that's what you're worried about. I would try to keep it out of those who would do such a thing, but nor would I keep it hidden or be on the run for my entire life. If this is truly a great artifact, then it should be used for greatness.
What is your definition of greatness, lady?
Using it as it should be used to fix whatever problems we have or any of these catastrophes. In the last several years alone, we nearly had an elemental apocalypse. We had the giant shattering of the giant ordning and dragons flying around killing people. Ring of Winter could be used to repel, destroy our enemies, making sure that none of these things happen anymore.
All right. I don't know if anybody else has watched Watchmen, but this lady's reminding me very much of...
You cut out. Can you say it again?
I don't know if anybody else has watched Watchmen, but this lady is reminding me very much of Lady True. If anyone actually watched that show.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I have not.
I have seen that show.
Okay. You get the reference.
You keep cutting out when you say their name.
That is true.
It was enough that Reese got it, apparently. We heard
Lady True from Watchmen.
Mm.
No one else watched the show, so it's fine.
Sorry.
We just get it.
The reference is lost on us.
I'll
Could
high
you
five
make
you.
make a reference to Gilmore Girls? Then I would be on the same page.
What character of Gilmore Girls?
When they found that world-ending artifact.
I would understand that reference as well. Gilmore.
And Lori became a megalomaniac tyrant.
And
Is Lori one of them? I took a guess.
Yeah, Lori is. I know that's one of the names.
It was close enough.
Yeah.
Not far from the truth.
Lorelai, thank you. That sounds.
Lorelai and I forgot the other. Murray?
Rory.
Murray?
Lori.
Yeah, Murray. Lorelai and Murray. I think so.
Lori and
the
Murray.
Gilmore Girls.
Lori and Murray. The Gilmore
Those
Girls.
the next two
Lori and Murray.
NPCs that you find are going to be Lori and Murray. Lori and Murray Gilmore.
Oh boy.
Okay. Now I'm actually done talking to her. I
hit the goodbye prompt and the NPC just stares at me until I slowly turn and walk away. I think we might have lost Chris.
I don't know. The freeze frame's pretty good though.
That's a good ending image.
He's so happy.
Might have lost his whole internet. That has happened. Alas, our Xandala discussion is momentarily stymied. Chris, come back.
I know. Why is our session dependent on Chris?
We'll save that for posterity.
Well, is there anything else you guys would like to do during this short rest? Otherwise, you will be fast forwarding to the beginning of the ritual. Or we could fast forward.
George says, teach me how to use the ring.
Oh God.
Chris just texted me, said he has a brownout coming back. So Xandala
Chris,
says,
you needed to use the restroom. You could have just gone. It's fine.
"The ring is not for one such as you. Ring is a great, powerful artifact, needs to be used by a great, powerful practitioner of the arcane arts."
Look, right here. I bet I can out arcane you.
She glares at you like, "I've seen what you've done. You are quite powerful and amenable, yes?
You know it.
If Mr. Mannix is so reticent on furthering our deal, perhaps I could hire some of you for this additional task."
I'm listening.
You have no money.
I don't have bags of gold on me like some sort of dungeon-dwelling monster, if that's what you're worried about. I have an estate. I have a family.
You do.
Money will be coming to you. And as I had mentioned to your friend, there would be a lot of good having an alliance with the wielder of such a powerful artifact.
And you promise you only use it for good.
I promise to use it how I deem necessary.
Is wiping out the Grung race part of that list? Because if it is, I'm on board.
The grung? You mean those frog creatures? Look,
Yes.
at this point, I am willing to wipe this entire God's forsaken jungle off the map. This place is horrible.
But just to clarify, that includes the Grung.
I imagine it would include the grung, certainly.
Sign me up.
Disease-ridden, insect-filled swamps and zombies everywhere. This whole
You got
place needs
yourself
to
a
be...
fighter.
That sounds wonderful. Do you think you could take on that lizard thing that guards artists?
Guards what?
That lizard bodyguard he's got, the dinosaur man. You think you could take him on?
Refresh my memory. Did I see him?
He's traveled with you for many sessions. Yes.
Oh, that dinosaur man. Oh. Yeah, all he does is like fart weird gas smells. I mean, what good is he? I could take him.
Excellent. That sounds wonderful.
I mean, I could hold my breath for an hour.
That doesn't seem necessary, but that's good to know.
That way I don't have to worry about his smell. Smell like ham or what? I still don't understand why he smells like ham.
His scents are not of my concern. Only his allegiance to artists.
I imagine that's his power. To give off a sense of ham and turkey. To entice others to eat him.
To entice others to eat him. What a terrible power.
I don't fully understand, but he's weak. He's weak sauce.
Well, I'm glad we could come to an arrangement. If any of the rest of you are willing to aid me in this task, I know it will not be an easy one. But surely you can see the benefits of me having the ring over coward.
Seems like a lot of power to have.
It is a lot.
I don't think anyone should have that.
But Baron, is there anyone that you hate? She could take him out.
You know, the more I spend with this party, the more
Go
I feel
on.
like we're just playing an evil campaign.
The more I hate all of you. She scowls at you, but doesn't respond to the power remark.
I shrug, walk off, whatever.
Right. The dwarf has some scruples about him. Understandable.
If you could teach the dwarf how to shapeshift into huge monstrosities, I bet he'd be on board.
He is a nature druid. Fine thing to be, of course, but not a practitioner of the arcane arts.
Look, do you want him on your side or not?
She sighs. That would be preferable, yes.
I'm pretty sure his dream is to become a T-Rex.
That's a good dream.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah. Or a Triceratops
Yeah.
at this point, too. That would actually probably be the
Yeah.
There's a Triceratops outside. We want a T-Rex.
T-Rex.
Promise him that, and he'll be on our side.
All right, I'll conjure you an ice T-Rex. How about that? You can have it for as long as until it melts.
Wow, it's even better.
Can you guys hear me?
Hey, there he is. We've
Yeah.
Yeah,
tried
my
stalling
camera's not
so
back up.
badly.
I can hear you turning my team against me.
That's what happens when your character just passes out for a second momentarily.
My camera's not back, but I'm back.
And he found the one who would take the bait.
Of course.
Yep, George is on board. So slowly turn your party against you. Although Theron is definitely not on board. So now it's become like a political faction division where we're all like choosing our faction sides.
I will mention.
Are you pro Xandala or pro Artis?
That's right. I will mention that Xandala has turned on us like 2 or 3 times before. She has used us and then abandoned us a variety of times in the past.
Wait, didn't she blow up that dinosaur we had that one?
Sure did.
Yeah, but you know what's different this time?
What's that?
Celeste is going to end up with the ring instead of her.
No, this time she owes me.
What?
The grin.
Oh, I guess you got her out of jail.
I rescued her.
That's true.
And you think
Xandala's debt never goes unpaid.
I don't know about that. She was owed me money for a long time.
All right, you guys have this discussion for a while, and then you can rest for a while. You all have these debates about what to do with Xandala and this forthcoming meeting with Artis and all that. As that is on your mind, a couple hours pass. You guys hang out there, no disruptions. You've got your magic up there to kind of hide the door. Mannix, you said your unseen servant was holding on to the gong. Is that right? And it's just there.
Yes. However, I don't know if Unseen Servant works that way. I don't know if it can be in like a different area.
Yeah.
Than I'm at. Once Roll20 loads, I can show the spell.
Unsure about how this thing works.
I'm not sure if I'm sure there's a range to it.
Oh, it also lasts an hour.
Oh, well, there you go.
So supposedly at some point it would just dissipate and you can only recast it within
Right.
60 feet visible. So
Yeah. Also, though, once I realized we were in a safe place and I didn't need to worry about people ringing the gong because they saw turtles and tritons running down the halls.
Right. Okay. All right. The reason I asked that is because you hear the gong ring out.
Oh, of course.
However, I believe Ishmael might have explained this, but if not, one gong is the ritual, 2 gongs is the alarm. You hear one gong resounding, echoing through the hallway and through the door, and that alerts you that the ritual is beginning.
Mannix starts telling everyone about what the timbre of that gong sound means, about how it was made.
Mannix, gong expert, a little known, flexing the gong knowledge. Xandala says, so...
oh yeah, I assume I have to go somewhere.
She says, what's the plan for the rest of us while you're doing this then? Or are we just going to figure it out?
You guys figure out what... Presumably, we're still here to get that cube, get into the Rasnisi's lair.
Now, will Rasnisi be at the ritual?
I think I don't know.
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like it's time for a heist.
Nobody in this
right.
room knows. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go out. I'll make sure the hallways at least are clear as I go out, and signal you, and then I'll go into the ritual chamber. And hope I don't die.
Will the DM allow the party to handwave a heist planning and just proceed with it?
Like execute a plan that we haven't made.
We're just gonna skip the part one where we actually make up the heist plan and then just do the heist.
I'm just gonna do the heist.
Just do the heist somehow.
Only if the DM allows it.
I mean, you can do whatever the hell you want. I'll just respond. Mannix, you know that the main path you've seen to get to the cathedral, which you saw before, is up here connected to the that main hallway that actually led to the gong, which had the balcony overseeing the cathedral. You could go that way, or you could go down the hallway you presume would lead up into the cathedral as well. But you know that's where the actual ritual takes place. I don't know if you can see my pings on the map or not.
Sorry, I was listening to you, but I was back in the back of my computer trying to unplug and replug my camera.
Oh, geez.
So, okay, yes, out in the hallway down.
Or if
here?
you like, I can just drag your token around if that helps.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's say I just follow the gong sounds.
Okay. You follow the sound of the gongs like a moth to the flame. And you see, I'm going to put you right here as you step in. The once quiet cathedral is now booming with activity as numerous Yuan-ti make their way inside from different corners of the temple. Instead of reverence, there's excitement and murmuring throughout the crowd, like the anticipation before a concert or sporting match. And as you enter this hallway, you see several Chultans dressed in nothing but basically like loin cloths and undergarments, being dutifully marched kind of down the hallway. They're not like shackled in any way. You can see,
guys, you here to join the club too?
That's right. They look very, as opposed to all the Yuan-ti that you see, which all look like very jubilant and cheering and all that. The human Chultans look very like dour and serious, not like afraid or panicked, but just treating it very seriously.
Long faces, guys. We're about to get dark vision.
Have you seen these pamphlets about becoming a Yuan-ti?
Yeah,
very convincing. But I will. You kind of just fall in line with them and end up marching into this.
I feel like I have not gotten a proper description of exactly what this entails, so Mannix is going to be just very attentive on like what's actually about to go down here.
Yeah. You see a pair of priestesses who have the snake tails for legs, and they are kind of motioning you all towards the blood pool, which is about half full right now. Some would say half empty, but you might be a half empty guy.
Probably.
But yeah, they motion you all to get in. So assuming you want to step into the pool of blood.
It's a pool of blood, and they want me to get in.
Yep.
All right.
Look, if it involves any kind of ritual castration, don't do it.
At least have them save some seed first, just in case.
Baron needs it.
Very important.
Save your seed, Mannix.
The last words you ever hear is
As I fade away. All right, Max will do it, but he'll be visibly like, this is really gross, guys.
Mhm. As you step into the pool, it's very warm. And it's not until you're in the pool that you realize there are several snakes swimming around the blood pool with you.
castrators.
We
Oh,
call
no.
them the castrators.
Why do you call him that?
Oh!
Weird name.
A crackling energy buzzes from the balcony, which is approximately 40 feet up, with the giant snake heads adorning it over this blood trough, which leads to the blood pool. And you see Fenthaza materialize from the arcane circle and slithers forward, her hands spread out as the swelling crowd begins to cheer. Another figure materializes from the circle. An imposing man with the lower half of a large snake. His bald head and gray skin are covered in bloody bandages, but you can see a clear blue triangle tattoo on his forehead. Though he carries himself with authority, you notice his hands occasionally shake.
We probably should have set up some sort of communication system.
Mannix realizes too late the things he would have said. The crowd.
I'm like, okay, I need to relay the information that Rosnisi is here to my team. We didn't set up any way to do that.
I mean, I'll get back to the other party in a second, but you do note that the ones who aren't explicitly prisoners would at least have some, which I guess is just Colette at this point, would at least be able to like attend the ritual without being,
Okay.
if they want to do that. The crowd cheers again, though a little bit less exuberantly, and you hear some whisperings and murmurs ripple throughout the masses as Rosnisi steps forward, also on the slithers forward, also on the balcony. Fenthaza calls out in a commanding voice, "Shintai Dendar!" The crowd shouts back in reprisal, the same.
Mannix will try to do so, but get it wrong.
Yeah.
Shinnok. Arthropod.
Just nowhere close.
Did you say anthropod?
He just hisses a few times.
I do it very quietly. None of the sick people heard me get it wrong.
Right, yeah. Dendar has blessed us with strong Barakne stock. They enter the pool of their own will, wanting to accept their true form and become Morocne. And the crowd cheers again. If any of you would prefer a swift death instead, we will grant you this wish. The crowd just cheers. It's like the same cheering.
Max looks around and said, like, anybody gonna raise their hand?
They glare at you. Very well. She barks out a few words behind her that you don't quite recognize. You hear the sounds kind of beyond the doors. You can see like little troughs where the blood comes from and forms into the snake heads. And you hear some squirms and occasionally a cry. A scream cries out, which, Mannix, you actually recognize as Fire Newt in origin. You recall they had a Fire Newt prisoner in their prison pits.
Oh, man. Max is getting real, like...
It gets cut off. And you see a new river of blood come gushing through the snake heads.
Okay, Mannix thought about this, and he knew he was going to have to do it. And he's well, actually, I'm not sure if I can do this. You tell me. Okay. Mannix is going to try to cast Phantasmal Force on himself.
Okay.
He is going to attempt to craft the illusion within his mind that he is in a giant pool of tomato juice. And that there are tomatoes popping in the water. And that behind this screen, wherever this is happening, people are mashing tomatoes to put in this tomato.
Salt tomato sauce. Wow.
Because he wasn't sure if he was going to get through this. The minute he heard the screaming, he was like, I got to do it. I got to mind wipe myself.
You magically lobotomize yourself to the current events. I think you can choose to fail your own spell, so I think you could affect it.
Yeah.
So for the next minute,
I mean, it's technically no larger than a 10-foot cube. However, it is. If you read the bottom part, the person will do whatever it takes mentally to justify it being real.
Okay.
So if I say the illusion is 10 feet around me, it's all tomatoes.
Yep.
My mind will somehow, even though there's people being sacrificed somewhere, my mind will not register that.
Those are some really loud tomatoes they're cutting up right there. Just, woof. Tomatoes putting up a struggle. All right. I love that to death. You look oddly euphoric compared to the others in the pool.
I like tomatoes.
You guys ready for this? And yeah, you see the blood, the tomato sauce rushing out of the giant serpent heads and filling the pool up to more of its full height, which is basically, hot tub size, I think, at this point. Very nice if it were filled with tomato juice.
Right.
At the same time, the priestesses by the pool move to the cauldron and dip clay bowls into this steaming, fleshy broth nearby. Which, Mannix, to you, what would you like to?
It's just tomato soup.
It's very chunky. It's very chunky, though. Tomato soup's usually not chunky. Okay, bits of tomato. There's bits of tomato in there. There sure are. Yeah. And they begin handing them out to all of you in the pool. And one by one, you see the others kind of grimace and then begin to eat the contents of that bowl.
I don't know what you guys are eating, but I love tomato soup.
All spaghetti.
Fanthaza raises her hands and says more words in an ancient tongue. And a steaming sweet incense pours out of the snake's head's mouths, filling the room in a haze. And you can actually feel it. It's almost like a glitch now in your illusion, but you feel this haze actually affect you like a hallucinogen, which is on top of your already self-induced hallucination. So Mannix, first, give me a Constitution saving throw after imbibing this fleshy tomato chunky broth.
We're also going to say that Mannix, in preparation for this, prepared his stomach ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
He knew bad things were going to happen. So he's going to roll a 15 on that Constitution saving throw.
Okay. You feel like because you knew ahead of time you're going to have to do something disgusting, that you are able to steady your stomach, even though you feel it roiling inside of you, and your insides feel very strange, but it doesn't quite do any.
These are weird tomatoes, guys.
These are really weird fucking tomatoes. Now, due to the hallucinogenic smoke in the room, I need a wisdom save.
Oh boy! Well, I'm out of high important dice, so I didn't see a wisdom save coming. 10.
All right, Mannix, you feel the need to. The room begins to spin around you, and you see many of the Yuan-ti dancing and chanting to a fantastic beat.
The dopest beats. Ooh. That is a dope beat.
That is everybody just starts dancing and in place and chanting, and you gain a level of exhaustion as you are uncontrollably caught up in the music.
It's too dope.
It's in the beat. It's too dope. Meanwhile, the rest of you are hearing a lot of commotion going on. Go ahead and pause the music. You guys are not in that room.
I love the music.
It's great. What would you all like to do at this moment? You can, at least Kaless could attend the ritual, or you guys could explore.
Well, Mannix is clearly dead at this point. So there's no coming out of that ritual. Let's
Probably not a bad
Go
idea for me to
exploring.
go.
let's go exploring.
Should I go to the ritual though to make sure he doesn't like die?
Wow, you know it's bad when
He's
Kaless is the
probably
one that's
already dead.
I think I know the answer to this, Darren, but can you undispel a spell you dispelled?
Undispel a spell?
That you dispelled?
Yeah. I don't think so.
I didn't think so.
I can't
That's a
unerase a pencil.
That's right.
It was, that's a good analogy there. Can't unerase what you already erased. Okay. Man, I had a good plan.
What do you need for your plan? Because I've got well, nothing like that.
I was just gonna have you re-release that poisonous gas Snake was doing during the ritual.
That would probably just kill me. Why would you do such a thing?
It would just be hitting a corpse.
Because they're convinced I'm dead.
You would just be retching and reeling. Well,
I do have Ice Storm.
Mannix dedicated his body for this. Let's go exploring.
Okay.
only Mannix knew the loyalty of his party.
As soon as he's out the door, wow, he's dead.
he's dead.
Hey, we're loyal up until death,
Up until I died.
or most likely death.
Which
Even
time
if there's a
guide?
1% chance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how can we figure out where Rasnisi's room is?
Well, we know he's in the
follow
throne
plan
room.
of the heist. Remember the
What's that?
blueprints we got?
Just follow the plan, guys. Follow the plan.
Wait, do we skip a step?
We did skip that step, but that's okay. We're still following the plan.
Let's go ask the slaves. They might know. Follow me. George
All right.
takes off down the hallway towards the storeroom.
Sorry, I forgot to take these guys off. And this body is probably no longer here. Oh, you know what? Leave the body there. That's funnier that way.
Hey, I found a spot to watch the ritual from.
Yeah, so in this hallway, there's a door to your east, currently closed. To the south, you smell and see what looks like some kind of laboratory, and there's a pureblood in there, and you can just see a couple zombies shuffling around in there as well, like moving beakers and flasks around. And then, yes, to the north, you see this ritual taking place. You see Mannix in a pool of blood just spinning around, dancing, and you hear the glorious music emanating from this cathedral. And then from here, you can see up in the balcony, you see Fenthaza, and who you can only imagine is Rasnisi up in that balcony.
Okay. I'm good. I'll stay where I'm at.
All right. You guys are in the storeroom. This is where I have to like remember who was who with where with what and did what. This is where George and Xandala teleported into and then convinced the giant snake to go watch the ritual. And then George lured a guard inside and killed it and left the body here.
All right, these guys don't communicate very well. So
And then through the doorway, which I left open apparently, you can see a bunch of Cholton humans in very little clothing, just kind of picking away with pickaxes or just laying around on hay. And you see a Yuan-ti with a snake for a head, a snake head, sitting or standing. He's got legs by this fire and just kind of looking into a mirror and just kind of like preening himself and just kind of staring at his own reflection, oblivious to like everything going on around him at the moment.
does he look like he would know?
Sure, ask him.
Xandala whispers to Gillian and is like, "Are we putting the turtle in charge?"
He's always proven to be an excellent maker of decisions before.
George
worried.
says, "Hello."
Okay. As you do that, let's go back to the ritual. Oops. Mr. Mannix.
Yep.
The High Priestess continues to chant in an unknown language, and the words begin assaulting your mind as you hear whispers and hisses all around you. Everyone in the pool begins clutching their heads or howling in agony, although it's drowned out by the chants and the drug-induced music. Give me an intelligence saving throw.
Oh boy. Well, I'm very good at this, at least. The rarest of the saving throws.
That's right. Figured I'd give you one. All right.
16.
Yep, you are able to kind of parse the words and keep them at bay. And you realize the words are sound like some deep rumbling voice telling you to shed your skin. And it's very uneasy, but you're able to maintain your composure. As the music and chanting and dancing come to a crescendo, you feel the snakes, or the what does your illusion see them as? Tomatoes bobbing in the water?
Yes.
Okay. Many tomatoes bobbing in the water, more than you saw before, begin to
So many tomatoes.
begin to wrap themselves around you. Somehow the tomatoes,
It just looks like they're mushing together. They're
Yeah.
forming tomatoes like around my
yeah,
limb.
little tomato
It's-
links.
The tomato vine.
It's a tomato vines. Yeah, very viney tomatoes. Panicked gasps and cries are cut short. Did my music stop? The music must never stop. Panicked gasps and cries are cut short as you see many of them dragged underwater. Give me a strength saving throw.
Oh no. That was the other thing I was gonna do. Didn't do it. Oh, look at that!
Oh, Mr. Mannix!
Tomatoes don't got nothing on me.
No, you shake off the threat of the tomatoes. He has a +0, everyone.
Plus 0.
The +0. Mighty Mannix stood in this pool against all odds. Only Kaless is witness to it. You see Mannix just like dancing and like, the tomatoes! They don't got me.
This is a great tomato party, guys.
Yeah. So you do not suffer any exhaustion effects at all for those rounds. All right. Meanwhile, George, you have sidled up to this figure who is looks like a man, but with a kind of cobra head. And you asked him, what exactly? You are muted.
I said, "Hello, who killed this guard right here?"
He turns around with a sudden start and stares at you and says, "Oh, what? What are you? What's going on?"
We are TIT, the investigation team.
What?
We are TIT.
Yep. You. But you are the ones that killed that poor guard. Guards, where? And he kind of looks around for the first time. Oh, where are my guards?
They're at the ritual. Why aren't you there?
Oh, the ritual. Well, someone has to watch the slaves who aren't part of the ritual. That is my job.
But everyone attends the ritual.
Yes, I would love to attend the ritual. Now, what are you doing here?
I've come to relieve you of your post so you can watch the ritual.
Leave me at my post. You're not Barakne.
Well, apparently there aren't enough of y'all. That's why they're having a ritual to turn others into more of you.
You look like you need to be here picking at the cave walls. Disgusting creature. Guards! Guards, where are you? And begins sliding like this way toward the caves.
Okay. Can I do something?
Sure, let me know what you want to do.
I'm going to pull out my thorn blade and try to whip him.
Okay.
Oh man.
Man, I was gonna maybe try. Well, I mean, I was gonna maybe try to use friends, but I was trying to figure out where that spell was.
If you want to talk to George real quick, you can, but otherwise, this is going to put you onto initiative.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try. I don't think he's. Well, I don't know. He's already probably kind of hostile.
Good job, George. Keep at it.
That's
what I want to say.
Okay, I'm gonna try to hold him back. George, let me just try to convince him to leave for a minute.
Oh, okay. George puts his weapon away.
Okay, I'm gonna. All right, so I'm gonna cast friends, and that's supposed to be the Friends theme song.
I thought I did a passing job. Yes.
I didn't get it till she said it, but when she said it, I
Months and years and days and times of being friends. Something like that, right?
Yeah,
that one was
I was a
harsh.
big fan, if you can't tell.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast friends, and I'm gonna say,
I'll be
Look.
there. Sorry, I gotta get over it.
Oh, good
and I'm
lord.
gonna tell him, look, you must be so exhausted of sitting here watching these worthless slaves, and you really do deserve to treat yourself to this wonderful ritual. So why don't you just let us take over for you?
Kind of stares at you and blinks for a moment, but when you mention the worthless slaves, that kind of piques his common interest. Give me a deception check with advantage, please. Ooh,
Oh, look at
boy. The snake man says, yes, well, I don't know what manner of creature you are, but I do deserve to go to the ritual. I'm sick of having slave duty all the time. It's horrid. I hate being around these beasts.
Believe me, I know. They are the worst.
Well, all right then. I suppose I will ask about these strange new whatever you are. Certainly don't look like Barakne. He kind of like leans in and tries to like inspect you as he's walking by.
Well, I just don't worry about that. You just worry about yourself. This is time to take care of yourself and just do a little pampering and go enjoy the event.
Yes, I do deserve a break, don't I? All right. Very well. You watch these filthy beasts until I return.
Oh, we will. Don't worry. We might even do some flogging while you're gone.
And you just stare the prisoners down.
So much flogging.
Smile creeps across your face.
Theron, as you see this snake creature enter the room and become startled once again, Xandala whispers to you and says, Are we killing this one? What's going on?
I think he's just going on break.
What? How do you people keep doing this?
Is he a humanoid?
This one is no. It's it's similar to Fanthaza, where they are a monstrosity because they're actually like half snake.
Okay.
Yeah, there's actually a weird discrepancy with Yuan-ti, where some of them are humanoid, the ones that are literally more human, and then the others are monstrosities. Once again, he kind of looks at all of you strangely, like, what is this, some kind of bizarre circus troupe? You're all so weird.
I offer him some pipe tobacco.
Ah, the universal greeting. I accept. The best Barakne. I forgot my own lingo.
Yes, it's the finest pipe, weed, and all the Dwarven land.
Yes, well, be sure to enslave your people next. Keeps
You won't regret it.
We're very
We make
docile.
fine slaves.
That's right. Unless you see the figure finally approach you and says, "What the hell is going on back there?"
Good question.
Just continue on to the thing.
Keep going.
And when he enters the ritual, Mannix, you have oh wait. I forgot the most important part. All right. You're not sure if seconds pass or hours, but finally the action begins to slow down. The hallucinogenic haze begins to dissipate a bit. And the music finally stops.
Aw.
Mannix keeps dancing.
Mannix keeps dancing, yeah. Your illusion is still up. You look around and notice there are mostly just bodies floating in the water.
Shit. Hold on. Which, by the way...
Are just big tomatoes?
No, we cheated a little bit.
Oh.
My illusion lasts for 1 minute.
1 minute, okay. At
So
some
probably
point...
long enough for me to have eaten
Yes.
the stuff. Maybe long enough for the snakes to wrap themselves around me, but these bodies are just fucking bodies.
Well, okay, we'll say that because of the way the hallucinogenic, like, haze and all that shit, it fucked with your spell, you were still, like, on a high and not realizing it until you reach that horror movie moment where just everything dissipates. You look around, snakes everywhere, you're in a blood pool, there's just bodies floating in there now. Out of all the ones that entered the pool with you, it's you and one other And that figure gives off a guttural scream and begins tearing into their own skin, just clawing into their own body. But instead of bloody muscle mass or bone underneath, you see a bestial snake form just emerge, just explode
Yikes.
from their own skin suit. And they take on the form of, right next to you, a brood guard, hissing
Seeing
and
that
lashing
happen,
out.
Celeste is going down the hallway going, guys, Mannix is totally about to change. Y'all gotta come watch this shit.
Mannix
When-
is still alive?
Not for
I owe
long,
you
but I'm
$10.
this one dude just became a brood guard. Y'all gotta come watch this shit.
Mannix, well, you know what? Actually, let's go back to their team. Because technically, Mannix's thing is going on for. I'm trying to go back and forth, but his is actually going to last a while. You guys could slow down and do things slower if you wanted to, but technically, the ritual lasts for like hours. So yeah, you guys are in the looks like kind of slave quarters / like a construction zone. There are a number of humans with pickaxes or just kind of resting around. They're not in shackles or anything, but they appear very almost like they're sedated.
Are they still working?
Some of them are just going through the motions, yeah. Barely like attentive to
Yeah.
what's going on around them.
Do a medicine check.
George is going to come up to one of them, and as the pickaxe is coming down, he's going to grab it
Okay.
and say, "You are free."
Yeah, you do that and it startles that person. Theron, you can investigate them, kind of look in their eyes and just do a whole like doctor check. And you see that they appear to be physically healthy, but have suffered severe mental trauma. And perhaps drugged. And that seems to be putting them in like a state of like torpor. They appear just very like calm and not really reactionary much to what's around them. But they appear physically healthy.
George
So-
asks, do any of you know where the cube is?
They just kind of like look at you with like sleepy eyes.
George slaps him a little bit. The cube. The
I
cube.
don't know if they're going to be able to help you.
Damn it. Any of you? What's up with all those slaves down here?
You see a little boy, maybe like 10 or 11, comes up to you and says, Where's Master Isar?
I'm the master now.
I am the captain now.
No, just he just went on a break. What can we do, little boy?
on a break. He takes care of us. He's supposed to watch us and tell us when it's time to eat and when to sleep.
Do you know what the ritual is, boy?
Oh, yeah. Rituals. Everyone gets
You know
together
it's
for the
important,
ritual.
right?
Some of
Now
them.
it's time to tell us where the cube is. Where's the cube?
Hush.
Oh. You are not Arachne. And he speaks with like the same accent as the Yuan-ti.
No,
He
we're
looks
not.
now he looks afraid. He's like, "Who are you?"
We are not Arachne, but obviously, shoot, what was that guy's name again? But obviously, your master trusts us enough
Isar.
to leave you in our care.
Oh, okay. I'm Cody.
Cody. I'm George. It's good to meet you. He holds out his hand.
Okay. He shakes your hand. Actually, no. He cowers away from it like you're about to strike him.
No, I'm not going to strike. A handshake. Don't you shake hands?
He looks confused and frightened.
Cody, have you seen a magical cube around here?
No. I don't think so.
Useless. George slaps. Just kidding.
George, your alignment is now super evil.
Think, boy, think. It may look like an ordinary cube. It's protected by, dare I say, Rasnisi?
His eyes grow wide. He's like, oh, yes. If anybody's got magic stuff from the surface, it would be the Raz.
Can you lead us to his room?
To the throne room?
Yes.
Oh.
We need to do a little light dusting for him.
I've never been there. There's some doors in the cathedral. That's the main entrance. But I'm pretty sure the river runs into the throne room as well.
You're saying we could float into the throne room?
Oh, you look like you could float. I bet you can float. Can you float in that? And he kind of points to your shell.
Yeah, you want to go for a ride?
His eyes grow wide. He says, oh, that would be great, but the river's... we shouldn't probably float on the river. He whispers to you, there's a big monster that lives in the river. Some of us that die get fed to the monster.
Yes, but look how strong we look. We won't die to this monster.
You do look pretty strong. Are those swords?
Yeah. You want to touch one?
You want to swing at somebody?
That's right. Yeah, can I see it?
George takes out one of his swords slowly and lets the boy play with it.
That's the boy play with it. He's having the time of his life.
One day you can become a true hero like us.
You're heroes?
Yes, and that's why it's so important for us to go to Rasnisi's room.
So you can rescue us?
Yes, we can. Here, take these. George pulls out 2 hand axes from his pack and trades the boy back for his sword.
Okay.
I have 2 hand axes in my bag. I don't know why.
Just fish around.
Now's the time
I don't
for
know. Kids like hand axes, right? Here you go. I don't know what kids like.
A popular Christmas toy. 2 hand axes.
I want you to practice with these, and one day you can become strong like me.
Wow. That would be great. But Master Isar will never let me keep these.
It can be our little secret. Shh.
Okay.
These are hand axes from a true hero. Take them. They're yours.
Thank you.
Now, what do you say about that ride down the river?
Yeah, there's some boats down the cave. He points to the east. That's also
Can
where
you show
the...
us? I'll bring you back before Master Easy ever comes back.
Oh, yeah, I can show you. They're always guarded, though. That's the back entrance to the temple.
But there's a ritual going on right now. I'm sure everybody's watching it.
Not everybody. Most of them are, though.
Well,
the guards at the front and the back, they don't get to leave. I mean, they rotate out sometimes.
Do you know when the next rotation is?
No, I'm not sure. But I can
Maybe
show
we
you.
can go. Yes, let's go.
All right. He lumbers down. And he appears to be more active than the others. He doesn't seem to have any of the mental effects that the others are under. Master Isar trusted me. He used me to issue all his commands. Said that he didn't want to talk to, I think he called us hairy apes.
Kind words, they are kind words.
I was his second in command.
And I bet with these hand axes you got, you'll stay second in command.
No promotion for you.
Always.
Wouldn't first in command be Master EC?
Yes.
I mean,
Let's be real about this. You're never gonna get his job.
Don't even try dreaming for that.
as they're walking, George takes one of the axes. Here, let me show you. He shows the boy how to swing an axe.
There you go. Now
You
comes
know,
a
passing.
training
on the watch.
montage. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
George, as he leads you down the cave, the rest of you could follow or continue dealing with the prisoners as they are. You see the cave open up, and you feel like wind rushing through this area, but you also see several brood guards looking kind of bored. And you see kind of a door, an actual door set into the looks like another entrance into the temple facility. And then you see the river to the east of that with a bunch of boats currently, small boats docked. Back with Mr. Mannix, you saw the one surviving Chultan prisoner rip into their skin and emerge as a bestial brood guard. Mannix, your own body, you can feel it. It is like crawling. It feels like you are just covered in insects or something. You have a great need to brush it off violently.
More less clawing, more gently peeling like a sunburn.
All right. You feel like your whole
Ew.
body's got that sunburn on there, just one big thing, and you just start
Ew.
you start peeling, but it like just keeps on. It's like a mummy bandage thing. It just keeps on.
It's like a Cronenberg movie.
Yes.
This is some body horror shit going on.
And it is just peeling off from every
I become
different
the fly.
part of your body. You pick and peel, although you still see a human body underneath its skin's freshest layer. However,
That's right.
you feel a sharp.
I feel exfoliated.
That's right. Yeah, very
So gross.
exfoliated. You feel a sharp prick in your mouth and spit out a wad of blood and reach up and feel two small fang-like teeth in your mouth. Your one real eye begins to just water uncontrollably and weep pus and blood, and you suddenly just reach up and the eye just falls out. But emerging,
my one eye.
Ew.
and the same thing happens to the fake eye that you were given by Zagmir
Catch the
Valindra.
fake eye.
Yeah, you can catch the fake eye and keep it, because it actually is a magical item. And to be replaced by two new organic eyes, glittery golden snake eyes.
Oh.
Fanthaza's chanting finally subsides as she gazes into the pool, a pleased expression on her face. Dendar has blessed us with two new Orachne. And the crowd cheers, although they're all kind of more in like a drunken stupor than they were before. And she says, "Rest well, for tomorrow begins your first day in your true form." You see that Rosnisi has like no expression on during this entire event, although his face is also bandaged up. And it slithers off into the arcane circle and teleports. Although we're kind of desynced right now. This is still going on while you guys are doing your thing. Um, and then as the crowd begins to disperse, she beckons you, Mannix, forward. Fenthaza does.
All right. Reporting for duty.
She keeps her voice low and says, "You survived. That is fortunate. It is not an easy process, but nothing worth doing ever is. Now that you are one of us, you have free reign in this temple. I imagine you'd want to sleep tonight, probably sleep for days. But I would advise acting sooner rather than later. As an Orok, you could seek an audience with Raz Nisi. You could work to assassinate him, or you could incite a distraction, as I suggested. As long as you deal with him, I can aid you." Mannix, as part of the process of your transformation, as you emerge into this new form, you are now racially a Yuan-ti pureblood. You gain the following traits. You have dark vision, which means you can see in dim light within 60 feet of you as if it were bright light, and in darkness as if it were dim light. You can't discern color in darkness, only shades of gray. You gain the poison spray cantrip. You also gain the use of animal friendship an unlimited number of times, but you can only target snakes. So you have a parcel tongue. You can also cast suggestion once per long rest using charisma as your spellcasting ability. You also gain magic resistance, advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects.
That's the big one.
And
That's awesome.
you are immune to poison damage and the poisoned condition.
Wow.
You also, because of your ordeal, suffer a permanent mental alteration. And since we discussed this, I will let you roleplay how you discover this or feel about it. Or
with the previous session, the rest of the session will answer one of the questions I had going into this. As Max is talking to Fenthaza, say, "Okay, that sounds good. How does that sound to you, Murray?" And Mannix turns and looks at somebody Fenthaza cannot see. Like, "Oh yeah, no, I agree. I'm exhausted too. What do you say we go get some rest? Wait, no, we have things to do, don't we? Yeah, you're right. Maybe we're acting right now, Fenthaza."
Fenthaza just arches an eyebrow.
Yeah, Murray and I, we have friends. Who you met them? They're they might be doing things as we speak.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what they're doing, but they might be doing things.
Says, very good. Dendar's mark does not leave us, or touches us all differently.
Right.
All right. Let us jump back to. Why is this not working? I thought I had our poll working, but don't see it appearing on the chat. That's a bummer. Oh well. I don't have the poll working, but if you guys want to vote for the MVP C of our session, you can do that. Just type vote and the character, and we'll just do it manually. I'm not sure why my poll is not working at the moment. As we return to the other group, make sure I know what you guys are doing and what your plans are, so that I can have a hope of trying to plan for next session.
Do you think we have a plan?
Probably not. So
It's cute that he tries.
yeah, what you see before you, I can go ahead and move you guys a little bit closer so you can kind of see this action. I don't know, Gillian, can you actually see anything with the dark? Nope, you're
I
in darkness.
couldn't. No,
Okay.
no, I
Sorry.
can't.
It is dark in these
Bit of
caves.
black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as I described it, you guys have reached through these cave tunnels. You can see this underground river before you. It seems to be guarded by several of these brood guards, as well as a door that leads back into the temple complex, is what you currently see before you. Kalles, you're kind of at a crossroads right now. Did you want to hang out with Mannix in this area, or did you want to double back and go with them?
I think I'll stay where I am and
Okay.
keep an eye on what's going on up here, since I can kind of blend in and go where I want to.
Okay.
So Cash will vouch for me.
That's right. Yeah, you see him up there watching. All right, so that is our current situation. We've got a split party, and Mannix is a official Yuan-ti. Gillian,
Big person.
you are being voted as our MVPC for this session, so you gain some inspiration.
Aw. Thanks, guys. See, it's all the call lightning that you guys
Storm in a closet.
got now.
Storm in a Closet. The newest album with the sickest beats by Gillian. Gillian, Storm in a Closet, 2020. Parentheses,
Hottest
2020.
bagpipe tunes.
The hottest bagpipe tunes. All right, that is where we will leave off for this week's session of Tomb of Annihilation. Thank you to Chris, Heather, Rochelle, Raymond, and Reese for playing. Thank you to all our wonderful fans for watching. Go to roguewatson.com for recaps. Patreon.com/roguewatson if you'd like to support the channel. We're live streaming our D&D adventures every week, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
It actually say Yuan-ti pure blood. No longer human, rogue wizard Mannix.
Is that the full title? Yuan-ti Pure Blood?
Yeah,
Wow.
because there's different kinds of Yuan-ti.
Mm-hmm. Just their naming convention is backwards. Like Pure Blood, you'd imagine would be like the top of the ladder.
Yeah, that's true. It's a weird name for it.